Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning into the Real Short Box Live Edition Monday Night Heat.
Oh yeah.
Sexy times for all. I'm
Oh
Donald,
yeah.
and we have a whole host of co-members here. I'll let Kevin ever introduce everybody while I work a little bit of magic here in the background.
All right. And to be kind to the man behind the controls, the Wizard of Oz of the Real Short Box, let's give it up for Mr. Teen USA from the year 1997. The man who loves Silver Age comics, Donald McKenny the third.
It's okay, everybody. It's okay. Thank you.
Are you having a good day, sir?
Oh, it's the best day. Yeah. Yep. I'm still alive, so there's that.
Well, that's number one. I like that.
Yep.
Good to hear. Next, the man who I like to call the High Sparrow of Texas. One of the most educated men in this country. The one who teaches young minds to be the best thespians that they can be in the acting world today. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Professor Chris D. Turner.
Thank you.
Are you having a good week out there, sir, in the great state of Texas?
It's Monday. It's rainy. It's like the quintessential dready Monday. It's rainy and cold and gray, and possibility of a giant windstorm blowing through and destroying your town. Can't get any more Monday than that.
Oh my goodness,
Texas.
Well, we hope that you stay safe out there, sir. Stay safe out there. And last but not least, he is the 2021 Central California Father of the Year. He is the fool killer of morons everywhere. The president and CEO at the Black Adam fan club. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up a warm welcome to Sweet White Chocolate Jared Galante.
Thank you. I tried smiling through that whole intro, and it hurt my face after a certain point. So being happy is not really all it's cracked up to be.
Hold on a second, sir. We pay you pretty good to smile on this program.
Not good enough.
All right. We're going to have a meeting with the board and see what we can do about that. Yeah, you didn't know that? You didn't get your check yet?
No.
Oops.
Oh, I actually get his check.
Well, what's that all about? Why are you taking the man's check for?
Oh, this is awkward.
I know,
we can talk about this another time. I get his money. That's all there is to it. I'm sorry.
All right.
I get your money too.
And real quickly, of course, I am your humble podcaster, the Supreme Chancellor and Lord of the Jedi and the Vulcan Arts, Dr. Kevin.
Sammy's Kevin. Sammy's the first one in. She's the first one here. So, wow.
Hello, Sammy.
Congratulations, Sammy.
Hello. Is the link posted yet, Mr. Donald?
Yes, posted.
All right. Should I say what we're going to be talking about today? Tonight, I should say. Should we talk the topic? This is a fun topic.
Yeah, hit him with the topic, dude.
This is something that we came up with a couple of months ago. We were just, playing around on the chats. And I said, you know what? Wouldn't it be fun if we just had these different icons from commercials that we grew up with, from cereals to candies to car brands, whatever the case may be. Wouldn't it be fun if they just went at it in a brutal, bloody fight? So Professor Turner had the idea to call it March Brandness, the battle of the brands. This is going to be so much fun. You get to vote in the comments section. Or if you have access to any of our phone numbers, email addresses, you can even text us and let us know who you want to vote for. But this is going to be a lot of fun. And I know that even Jared and Chris have some money on the line on who's going to win the ultimate prize.
Yeah, so people vote correctly. And this is not just Battle of the Brands. This is Battle of the Brand icons.
Yes, brand icons. Yes,
these are the icons we've grown up with. These are the icons we still live with. These people represent the things we buy and why we buy them. And the cuter they are, the more we want to buy it. I mean, is that true?
There's some truth to that. There's something that says about psychology. You see a very adorable looking character, you want what they're selling.
Baby Yoda.
If we took Baby Yoda Grogu, or we took what's the cute little tree from Guardians of the Galaxy? Right now it's freezing. Right now, my mind on that cute little
Groot,
Baby Groot. That's it. People fall in love with those characters. They want a piece of the action.
Joe, the Charmin Poop Bear, as you so eloquently call him, will not be in this week's battle. He will be in next week's battle, because this is, guess what? A 2-week battle. This is going to be.
This is part 1 of a vicious single elimination tournament.
And a little behind the curtain magic. I don't think we've ever gone back and forth or over a list of anything that we've done lists on of this show where we had well, no, we can't have that. Well, we have to have that. This guy's got to be in. What do we do with this matchup? This doesn't work.
We did this up to literally 2 hours ago, believe it or not.
Yes, yeah, we literally were changing things the day of, because there's just so many.
Yeah, you make your initial list and then you forget about 30 others, and then you're like, oh my god, how did I not think of these guys?
There's a little reverb here from somebody. And it ain't me.
It's not me either.
For once. Hey, Josh. Ooh. Nice to see you, buddy.
What's up, Josh?
And Joe, of course.
Welcome, brother.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for entering us.
Entering us.
My family is shooketh. I understand, Joe. It can be a traumatizing thing. Particularly if you can imagine, because the Charmin bear represents toilet paper, of course, and 2 years ago, or even part of last year, everybody ran out of toilet paper, basically. So,
especially you, from what I heard. I heard you had to use towels and leaves outside to take care of yourself.
Yes, I actually bought a large blanket, and I would use parts of the blanket every day until I finished one half, and then I flipped the blanket over, and then I used the other half. And then I had a neighbor downstairs that I didn't like, so I would just swing it out the window into his apartment, so he'd get this giant shit blanket just blowing into his apartment.
Are you trying to spread cholera and other forms of diseases out there, sir? How dare you?
I don't care.
He thought the cholera would kill the COVID.
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
I see.
Yes, much like a poop quilt.
Wait. Did you forget? Because when you said Charmin Bear, it made me think of the other. What's the other bear that does the laundry? The Snuggle Bear.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Snuggle Bear. That's an adorable fella there. Because the way he talks, nice and fluffy and nice and fluffy. The way he talks.
Yep. Hey Maria.
He kind of reminds me of the guy from Shrek, the gingerbread cookie guy. The way he talks.
Kind of. Okay, so I'm going to pull up now, for those that have never watched us before, how we do these battles, and I just want to explain it quickly, is we take one, for example, this is the Battle of the Brand Icons, so we take one brand icon, we put it up on the screen, we say a little bit, and then we pull up the other brand icon that he's going to fight, and then we put that up on the screen. So can you imagine this is kind of like a Mortal Kombat Street Fighter type scenario? They each have their own power sets and abilities. They each have their own popularity, their fan base, things like that. They're going to go up on the screen. At that moment, then I'm going to put a shot clock up. It's going to go for a minute. And then you guys will have a chance to vote on who you think should win in that battle. You pick, of course, one or the other. Whichever one gets the most votes is the winner of that match. And we move on then to the next battle. So for a quick practice round, we're going to do a couple here of preliminary matches. These do not count in the Battle of the Brand Icons that we're going to be doing. And I apologize if we picked your favorite for this. There was a lot of really good brand icons, and we couldn't put them all in. So I'm going to pull up an image of our first battle. Now, this is an interesting one that I think you'll all enjoy. So we have, from Starkist Tuna, we have Charlie the Tuna. Charlie the Tuna, everybody. Charlie the Tuna was created because they wanted to show you that a lovable cartoon character can be eaten and enjoyed.
That's true.
Best with mayonnaise, I think, probably. So, whatever, we're going to go with that. And Charlie the Tuna is going to be facing, now I did this one on purpose because oftentimes people like to mix the two. Charlie the Tuna is going to be up against, let me just find the image here real quick. I know Kevin sent it to me. Where's that at? There we go. We have the Helping Hand, a.k.a. Lefty, from Hamburger Helper.
He's missing a finger.
Has 4 total, 3 fingers and a thumb, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, he's missing a finger.
So, Helping Hand Lefty versus Charlie the Tuna. Now, here's the thing. I want to give a little piece of history on Lefty. In 1979, and this is a great little tidbit, in 1979, they made a short film called Attack of the Helping Hand. And in this story, Lefty comes to life in a woman's kitchen and attempts to grope and then kill her. This short film is on IMDb, by the way, the credits for it. It does include one Sam Raimi and one Mr. Bruce Campbell as actors in said horror film. So I really need to check it out. I didn't know it existed until I did a little research on Lefty, and that's what you get when you do those kinds of things. And Kevin got shocked too when he did some research. Kevin, what's the shocking tidbit that you found out? I have the picture here I could show.
Oh, you found the picture. Well, I always wondered, what does the Hamburger Helper look like underneath the glove all these years? And well, it's pretty disturbing how he looks underneath that glove. It actually has scarred all of our minds.
Yeah, it's not okay.
Here we go.
Not okay.
That's not okay.
What?
Also, he's got a right hand. He's got two right hands in a left hand. That's evil. That's of Satan.
Yeah.
And those were full 5-fingered hands in a 4-fingered glove. What is going on?
The face doesn't make sense with the skeleton because there's a big face, so his face is the body.
Witchcraft.
Total witchcraft. Very freaky, scary witchcraft for sure.
The funny thing, Donald, as you were saying, because the two get mixed together, if you Google Hamburger Helper Tuna immediately comes up.
Really?
They call it Tuna Helper, basically, which is another version of Hamburger Helper.
Or as the British say, tuna.
Tuna. Yes, it is quite fascinating. So we're going to let people go ahead and vote. That is not proportionate with his face, Josh. It's quite scary, and Sammy, I would not accept it either. So we're going to go ahead and let people vote while I look for the shot clock because I can't find the damn thing. So I'm going to do that on my phone for this first round while I continue to look for the stupid clock. So
Someone stole your clock? Oh, no.
yes, someone stole my shot clock. Okay, so we got 1 minute on the clock. If everybody wants to vote, start now. Charlie the Tuna versus Lefty. Who would win in a fight? Now,
and of course, if we have ties, we will go to the 4 of us to hopefully break that tie.
anybody have any thoughts on this of who they think will win?
After seeing that disturbing picture, I think I would go with the Hamburger Helper. And
Yeah, pre or post picture is the big question there. Like with pre-picture, I would guess Lefty. Post picture, I might go with the Tuna. I don't know. It depends on how scarred everyone is.
I think I'd go with Lefty because even before the horrid thing I wish I never saw, because Lefty cooks things. Lefty knows how to cook things. Charlie's just a tuna fish who can talk and make jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Lefty would know how to chop up and cook Charlie.
Yeah,
Wow.
Exactly.
We've got a lot of people choosing Charlie the Tuna, actually, so this is interesting.
So how does Charlie the Tuna get through his Think about it. He's wearing a glove. He's kind of like a turtle in a way. He has a beautiful defense mechanism. So how do you get to him?
He's wearing armor.
Exactly. He's wearing armor.
I guess if you flipped him over or turned him on his side, it'd be hard for him to get back up, I would imagine. But, you know, I don't know. So we have 0 time left on the clock. So let's go ahead and start counting some votes. Jarrett, why don't you do the tuna? And Chris, why don't you do that lefty?
Sure.
Gotcha.
So Chris is Charlie, or Jarrett's Charlie, and Chris is lefty. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you watched Black Friday with Bruce Campbell? I may have watched part of it. I didn't see the whole thing, but I did watch part of it. Okay, so Josh is picking lefty. Maria says clearly Handy is going to win. He has opposable thumbs. His name is Lefty. Jesus, Maria.
He gives good hands, though.
Good hand jobs, yeah. Sammy says Charlie, because she can never unsee the hand x-ray.
It's pretty disturbing.
TJ says Chorley the tuner. Hey, TJ, welcome back. Thanks for joining. Hakeem says Hola, and he hasn't voted yet. Austin is saying Charlie the tuna. Joe is saying opposable thumb. But Joe, are you voting for lefty? Let us know. Thanks for joining, Austin. Enrique, hey, thanks for joining, Enrique. TJ says, is lefty allowed to use his spoon as a weapon? Well, it's part of the logo.
I don't see why not. I don't see why not.
It's part of the logo, yeah. I mean, I think he can. Josh says, ahi tuna is fantastic, though. Gabe Butler popped in. Hey, Gabe.
What's up, Gabe?
TJ says, proportionally speaking, tunas are huge. Enrique says, Charlie the tuna. And Joe says, is this who would win in a fight or who we like? Two very different things.
Who wins in a fight?
Joe, I think I would go with who wins in a fight. Now, you can sometimes it becomes the same thing, but in this, I would speak from the heart on who you think would win in a fight. And I'm glad you asked that. So when you're ready to vote, cast that vote quickly, and we will see who wins, because right now it seems like Charlie's kind of running away with it. MC Narcissist says, are you not seeing my vote for Charlie the tuna? No, I did not see it, sir. So we've got another one for Charlie the tuna.
Gotcha, MC.
Well, gee, guys, I don't
thanks
have
for
much
joining,
to do.
Lefty from Joe. He's voting
All
lefty.
right, that's 2.
That's 3 for lefty.
Yeah, I think that's 3.
That's 3.
How many do we have for Charlie?
5.
Okay.
Whole hand.
Well, it was close. If the other people that are watching and not voting would vote, then we might have a winner one way or the other. But right now, it's just the way it is. This is just a kind of a preliminary match. It doesn't count towards the bracket. As you can see, we have like a March Madness style bracket that we're doing for these battles. So Charlie the tuna takes the cake, so to speak, and Lefty, as horrifying as he is, loses, surprisingly, in this battle.
This is an upset.
Very surprising.
I mean, to be fair, actually, if Charlie the tuna, it's kind of like an Aquaman, Submariner type battle if they're near water. So if this battle takes place near water, I would say definitely Charlie gets it because he'll just drown that creepy skeleton, which apparently has lungs and arms and everything in there. So, yeah.
What, Sammy?
Happy now, actually, because I don't want that thing to live.
Sammy, you were the first one in here. I told you it was a preliminary just for fun. The next one, too, guess what, Sammy, is just for fun. This is for people that have never watched this before, so they can kind of get a feel for it. So we got the next preliminary round. This is a just for fun one. And then after this one, we go into the battle. So we've got one more preliminary. It's coming up right now.
I think this has got 2 of my favorites. Yeah. Little known fact about Jared, I love ad icons. I have like a ton of those Wacky Wobblers and Funko Pops. Like those are the ones I collect.
So on the screen here, we've got one Mr. Bazooka Joe. Fun fact about Bazooka Joe, he was created in 1954 for Topps, trading card company, Topps. They also did chewing gum, of course, because they would include the chewing gum in their cards. They created him in 1954 as a ad campaign idea to put him in a little comic strip with a little fortune wrapped around the gum inside. It became a huge hit for tops and has been quite successful to this very day. You can still buy a box of Bazooka Joe gum and get it in the wrapper and unwrap it and read the fortune and stuff. In fact, Saturday Night Live lovingly parodied it, where Chris Farley played a Chinese gentleman working at a fortune cookie factory that was giving them fortunes by unwrapping Bazooka Joe gum and reading what Bazooka Joe would say. So, it was pretty funny. So that's Bazooka Joe. And Bazooka Joe is going to be battling another kind of a teenage hipster, kind of a, one of those troublemakers that, you want to just raise your fist at and say, get off my lawn. And we are talking about one Mr. Twinkie the Kid. That's
I got some facts about Mr. Twinkie the Kid.
All right, hit us.
First off, he's obviously Twinkie's mascot. If you don't like Twinkies, I mean, lose my number, because Twinkies are great and they can last through an apocalypse, right? I think any kind of Hostess product will never give up on you. He's obviously the mascot for Hostess Twinkies, created in 1971. So he's fly, he's hip. This is what's actually pretty cool. So obviously, as you can see, he's appears as a wrangler. He wears boots, gloves, and a kerchief. Kerchiefs are always cool. Just ask Peter Bogdanovich when he was alive. And he's got his 10-gallon hat. This is what's cool, though. He was created by Denny Lesser, who was a routine delivery driver for Hostess in the San Fernando Valley, so L.A. He designed the mascot, and his wife made the costume that he used for traveling promotional campaign. So one of their drivers came up with Twinkie the Kid.
No shit.
I think that's pretty awesome.
That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I like that. I like that thought. We've got votes pouring in, so people please continue to vote. We've got more. Sammy says Bazooka Joe. So let's do Kevin. You're gonna do Bazooka Joe, and Jarrett, you'll count for Twinkie the Kid. Okay.
All right.
Got it.
So Sammy's going with Bazooka Joe because she does not like Twinkies. MC says Bazooka Joe. Joe says Twinkie the Kid is immortal, so I think Joe is voting for Twinkie. Austin says Bazooka Joe. Enrique says Twinkie, and Maria says Twinkie. So where are we at with these numbers, gentlemen?
Looks like we have a tie. I got 3 for Bazooka Joe.
I've got 3 for Twinkie the Kid.
Oh my.
Oh, man.
TJ popping in with a Bazooka Joe, putting him in the lead.
All right.
4-3. What say you? Anybody else want to cast their vote? Oh, man. It's a bloodbath now. Josh is saying Bazooka Joe. It looks like Twinkie's on the ropes with his lasso and little kerchief around his neck. Yeehaw.
Cream everywhere in the street.
Yep. I imagine it's like Bazooka Joe just like blowing a bubble and then going up to Twinkie the Kid and then putting his fist through the bubble into Twinkie's face, punching into his face, and then pulling it out with all that sticky gum all over it and just pulling out all his innards with it. Yeah. And then just being like, that's it, you're done. Like, that's...
Yeah, I imagine Twinkie doesn't have a lot of, like, exterior shell. Kind of just a soft Twinkie exterior, kind of so...
He's got to be all bluff. Yeah, he's got to just bluff him. Like, be like, I'm a cowboy, kid. You don't want to mess with me. You don't want to mess... No, cream filling everywhere.
I think Josh sums it up. He says, living in Texas, it hurts not to vote for a cowboy. Well...
Wait, also, wasn't Bazooka Joe missing an eye?
Yes, he has a patch on his eye.
Yeah, he has an eye patch.
So he's been through the wars.
Showing that gum.
He's disabled.
He's been through the wars.
And Joe says, so Bazooka Joe is a top versus a Twinkie. Have the straights not realized what they have done? Well put, sir. Well put.
Yeah.
All right, so that thus ends the preliminary rounds. Now, everybody that hasn't played this before or watched along with us knows the rules, knows how it works. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to start right away, and we're going to have some fun with this one. Because we've got part 2 of this matchup next week, where the winner of this round will face off against the winner of next week's round for the ultimate winner. Yeah. Now, I'm going to let...
We were kind of having fun before, you guys, but now it's serious, okay? This is real.
Yes.
This is real now.
I'm going to let everybody in the chat right now that's watching us. I want you to throw out a character that you think will win this week. Now, you don't know who's playing in these rounds. So, if you guess correctly who's playing and who wins it all, if you can guess correctly who wins it all this week, we will send you a free autographed comic book. And I will tell you all about that after you win it. If you win it. It'll be a free autographed comic book that we will send your way. It'll be delightful. It'll be glorious. It'll be wonderful. All you have to do is throw out the name of the character that you think will win this week without even knowing what characters are playing this week. And if you're able to guess it correctly, then you'll win an autographed comic.
And I don't want to spoil it, but the comic was a one-shot, and it was signed. It was a one-shot comic written and art by Ron Jeremy. It was just, yeah. So
it's called.
It's called Ron Jeremy, sir.
The Penis Mightier. Right.
Yeah. One shot comic.
Oh,
shoot. Ron Jeremy?
Josh is going to throw in a T-shirt too for those that guess correctly.
Nice.
Okay, so we have some things to do. Speaking of which, let's talk about a certain company that we have sponsoring us. Kevin, we can't see that at all, so I'll show him my hat.
It disappears.
This is the Splattered Frog Brewing Company. Now, they are based out of the great state of Texas. Now, they lovingly are a bit smaller than a microbrew. Nano brewery, I believe, is what Josh called it. But they do brew out of Texas, and they are a startup, and they are selling product on their website. And they're expanding the product slowly as it comes out. It'll be up on their website, new things for you to watch out for and to purchase if you would like. So if you go to splatteredfrog.com and you type in the coupon code SHORTBOX, you get 20% off your order. So
don't type in long box because then they add 20% extra.
Right.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And there we go. So that is the name of the website and the 20% off code, Nano. There we go. Thank you, Josh. It is a nano brewery, and or Nana, depending on if it's your grandma that's helping you. You know, you could call it
Nano. Morgan Mindy fan. That's a Morgan Mindy.
Nunya Brewery.
Nunya Brewery. That means that you've closed your doors, I believe. That's how that works. Okay, so let's get to it. We're gonna go with round one here. And along the way, if you guys still want to guess as we reveal, it's too late because that would be cheating. So the only person, well, there's two people that's thrown in. Joe said, "Where's the beef lady?" Joe, not going to happen, I can tell you already. So I'm sorry, buddy. We did not use any fast food mascots in this, just simply because it would make it difficult to know where to draw the line, as in the "Where's the beef lady?" as in Wendy from Wendy's, things like that. They're actual real people, so it's a little difficult to throw them in with that kind of thing. But there are a few that kind of ride the line, and we do use them. And you'll see as we introduce them. The only person that is in the running for this competition is TJ. And he says the Keebler Elves. And we'll see. We'll find out if the Keebler Elves are in this or not for this week. If not, you know, then you'll all be able to guess next week, and then you'll be able to think about it for next week then, and then you can make your guess on next week's brackets, and then you'll get a free autographed comic and a free T-shirt from Splattered Frog. Joe threw in Kool-Aid, so that's okay. Joe, that's a good one. Josh is throwing in Count Chocula, also a good one. Sammy's throwing in Tony the Tiger. Okay, guys, geez, now you're throwing in your votes. All right. Kevin, can you write these down?
All right, give it to me.
Okay. We have TJ saying Keebler Elves. Joe says Kool-Aid Man. Josh says Count Chocula. Sammy says Tony the Tiger. And Hakeem says Count Chocula.
Damn.
And
I say
officially,
I say the splattered frog as the brand icon is going to win it all.
that's a pretty good guess. And officially, once we get started here, the moment I post this picture, it is over for guessing. You will not be able to guess.
Give me again. Who does Sammy say was going to
Tony the Tiger.
Tony the Tiger.
We had 2 Count Chocula, so we'd rip the comic in half, right? If
Yes.
Chocula wins.
Yeah, we absolutely would. Yeah, we'd cut it right in half. Well, wherever the autograph
Just like
is.
Ron Jeremy does.
Yeah.
Who is this Ron Jeremy guy?
Oh yeah, Kevin, you don't know. Sure.
Sure.
You got like a statue of him that you had custom built out of melted dildos.
Melted dildos. Wow.
Hey Frank.
That should be his autobiography.
Hakeem changed it from Count Chocula to Captain Crunch.
All right.
Good. Solid.
Frank, we're just starting. Here we go. And first round fight. The Vlasic Pickle Stork. Or a crane, but I think he's a stork.
He's a stork.
He's a stork.
He's going to deliver babies after he gives you a pickle. I think that's actually how the babies get started, is the Vlasic guy gives you his pickle. And then,
come on now.
Yeah, it does. It writes itself.
And then later, he comes back to deliver the baby. And then drops it some other place because he doesn't want to deal with it.
Well, you know what's funny? There was a Family Guy episode where he did actually say something like that.
Oh, yeah?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Donald, do you have any, before we get to the next guy, do you have any history on the Vlasic Stork guy?
No, I don't.
Okay, because I just read a little blurb that kind of coincided with what you just said. So I'm going to just say it real quick. So the Vlasic Stork, apparently his name is Jovny. He's got a name.
Oh. Jovny.
He's been the official mascot for Vlasic since 1974. He is known for speaking in a Groucho Marx style voice and holding a pickle like a cigar. And this is crazy. According to Vlasic, he was introduced to capitalize on the falling birth rate at the time.
No shit.
Yeah, so they wanted to kind of like subconsciously be like, hey, maybe we should have some babies, people. And I'm sure pickles played into that. And what do they see pregnant women crave sometimes? Pickles.
So what you're saying is that pickles are some kind of a aphrodisiac is what you're saying?
Apparently, yeah. Well, they say a lot of pregnant women crave pickles.
Interesting.
My wife.
Well, I mean, they're the size of the African of the average American. I mean,
storks?
No, pickles.
The size of the average American. What are you talking about? The average American's like what, 5'5" or something like that. 5'8".
A little lower.
I'm talking pickle size, I think.
Oh, yes. Indeed.
All right, and who is Mr. Vlasic Jovny, apparently, or Jovny, battling?
He is battling.
So my mom and dad are on. They can't comment right now, but they are on. So everybody say hi to my mom and dad.
Hello, Mom and Dad McKinney.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. So the Vlasic Pickle Stork, Jovny, is going up against another bird of sorts. One Mr. Toucan
Sam, who was first created in 1963 to be the mascot of Fruit Loops. And interesting enough, guess who originally voiced Mr. Toucan Sam?
I know.
I don't.
Mel Blanc.
You got it. You got it.
Wow. That's pretty
funny.
cool.
You know, many other Looney Tunes voices.
Yeah. You know who took over for him after?
Paul Frees.
Paul Frees, who people will know, who does the voice for Disney's Haunted Mansion. He did a lot of those Rudolph the Red-Nosed, like all those Rankin Bass things. He always played like villains in those. He was like a huge voice actor.
TJ says his eyes are bad. He needs to get Vlasic surgery. Josh says, are the babies pickled? That's dark. And Sammy says, damn, Josh, that escalated quickly.
Do you guys remember what Toucan Sam's catchphrase was for Fruit Loops?
They're great.
Did No. Did he say follow your nose or something like that?
Follow your nose. It always knows.
Ah.
He said, follow your heart and try not to fart.
That's not what he said.
No?
Now, also, Toucan Sam was actually, when you'd watch, because we grew up with all these commercial ad icons. He was one of the ones that actually was like leading the kids to the cereal instead of like trying to hide it or hog it from them. Like Lucky was always running from people. The Tricks Rabbit was trying to steal. And Toucan was a giver.
Yeah.
He was like, come on, guys, enjoy the food.
Didn't Toucan come out like right around the time of the big, like Coke boon? And like originally, they made him with that large beak nose and then he would his like line was like, more Coke for me, kids, and he would like do a line on the commercial.
I believe you might have been seeing something different, sir. I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe that was me.
Yeah.
And I did the line.
I think you were coked out for days on end of not sleeping, and you saw Toucan Sam do this.
That's possible. Yeah.
That's what happened.
Sure.
It was actually just like a pigeon.
Exactly.
Michael says Janet and Michael are here. Well, hello, Michael and Janet. Thanks for joining.
And Alex Benquita is here as well. Let's give him some love.
Oh, yo, Alex. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Okay, so let's get started. We got Toucan Sam versus Javni, the Vlasic pickle stork. So we have one that has crap cereal that tastes disgusting, and the other has classy, crispy pickles.
Hey,
are delicious.
Kindergartners love to make necklaces with that crappy cereal.
I know.
Well, my money is on the colored beak bird.
I think that's good money to have, Kevin, and you probably are looking at the chat, so that's why your money's there. You're not a fool. I know you're not a fool. I'm not a fool. So let's start counting. Chris, you're the pickle guy.
I eat lots of pickles.
Kevin, you are the big beak with the color. You are Toucan Sam.
The big colored beak bird, yes.
So let's get this started. Sammy says Fruit Loops all the way.
All right.
Frank says Toucan Sam. Hakeem says Toucan Sam. Michael says Toucan Sam wins. Michael, is that just one vote or is that two votes? One for you and one for Janet. So one right now for Michael and Janet. Let's see. I know I will be here all week, Sammy. Joe says Toucan Sam. TJ says Toucan Sam. Austin says Toucan Sam. Enrique, God bless you. He says the pickles. Alex says Toucan Sam. Hakeem says Toucan Sam. Maria says Toucan Sam. Joe says pickles are gross. Joe is incorrect. Louis, thanks for joining, Louis. He says Toucan Sam. And one more vote for Toucan Sam. And then Mom and Dad are both voting for Toucan Sam. So it sounds like
it's like a 14-1
the
blowout.
pickle stork never had a chance.
Beak to beak. When two beaks touch, one wins.
Yeah. Alex says, by the way, I started watching Sundown: A Vampire in Retreat. I didn't finish it, but I will. Fun movie, but a slow start. Definite slow start, buddy, but it is worth it. It is a fun little film, and I hope you enjoy. So the Vlasic pickle stork is on his way out the door. Toucan Sam gloriously wins.
Stork has been killed
this round and moves on to the next to battle one of these guys, and we're going to move into that right now. I didn't use the shot clock because everybody was so good at putting up who they were voting for. So this is an interesting battle. This is one you probably wouldn't have thought of, and I'm surprised we thought of as well. But we're going to start it out with how many licks does it take till you get to the center of the... yeah.
Well, I do have an answer for that, sir. Approximately 364 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
Huh.
I never made it past like 10.
I think I did 30 or something.
Well, maybe I was smart and I listened to what Mr. Owl said, and he said 1, 2, crunch, 3. It takes 3 licks. So you listen to what Mr. Owl has to say.
He's a liar. Mr. Owl is a liar.
Well, Mr. Owl is fighting one Mr. Diggum the Frog.
Oh, yeah.
natural enemies, frogs and owls. I don't know if you all know that, but they do fight often in the wilderness. Owls will at night attempt to grab toads and frogs, and the frogs will then smack them with their sugar-filled spoons that they have to knock themselves loose from the owls and escape. So, that's true. That's how it actually happens, guys. It's science. Look it up.
Isn't an owl a natural predator for a frog?
Frogs also will eat owls. They will hunt them at night with their spoons, and they roast them in sugar.
I have to ask you, how do frogs gain access to spoons? I have to know. How's that
Or
possible?
sugar, for that matter.
And sugar. Dr.
Complicated, guys. I don't want to like fill your brains with too much knowledge. They might not be able to take it. So, yes, and both characters are tongue-based, TJ. So there we go. Michael says the frog supports meth. Why else would it be called Sugar Smacks? That's a good point.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And we are starting to vote, guys. You've got 30 seconds left on the shot clock. I don't know if you noticed.
I'm going to put my money on the owl. An owl can be quite vicious. Quite vicious.
I'm gonna go dig him just because, even though I got the picture, but I'm going dig him because he's got the street smarts. He's kind of a man who's kind of like he probably listens to like really good jazz. So you know he's.
You don't think the owl listens to jazz?
I'm going 100% with the owl. Owls are very intelligent.
Thank you. Owls are very smart.
Diggum probably has more patience than the owl because the owl can only go 3 licks before he bites the.
Also true.
But he's a freaking owl. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
He's graduated from something. So
he's way smarter than the frog.
Okay. Let's see. Hakeem says he's going with the owl. Chris, you're going to count for owl. Actually, Jarrett, you count for owl. Chris, you count for Diggum, okay? Since you get
Mr. Owl.
Since you got he didn't spend so many years in Mr. School for it to be called just Owl, right?
He's not just an owl.
Okay, so Hakeem's going with Mr. Owl. Enrique hasn't voted yet. Maria says Mr. Owl. Alex says that while Sugar Smacks are addictive, he's going with Mr. Owl. TJ, Mr. Owl. Austin, Mr. Owl. Frank, Mr. Owl. Joe, Mr. Owl. Sammy, Mr. Owl. He's not a man, he's a boy, says Alex. Josh says, sorry, yeast converts sugar to alcohol, LOL. TJ, that owl has graduated college. That's true. Alex says, the field mouse is fast, but the owl sees at night. Josh is voting for Diggum. Mom is voting for Diggum. Dad is voting for Diggum.
Wow.
2 more votes for Mr. Owl. 1 more vote for Mr. Owl. And I think it sounds like a bloodbath.
Yeah, this is
another bloodbath. Look at this.
Just frog legs for everybody tonight. I mean,
yeah, I expected this one to be a little closer.
I thought so too.
And stork legs as well.
But we all
actually maybe we should call the cemetery because somebody's gonna have to dig them.
Oh,
a grave.
Wow, I knew it before it was coming, but I couldn't stop.
Well, I imagine if the owl won, that it's gonna end. The frog's gonna end up as an owl pellet. So
that's right.
It's true.
Yeah.
He'll be picking his scat.
Then he can dig through that.
Owl scat.
Next round. Moving on.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one.
We've got multiple M&Ms here. And let me just say something about the M&Ms. Back in 95-96, when they created these cartoon versions of the M&Ms, the red M&M was actually voiced by John Lovitz, for those that did not know.
I remember that. Yeah.
That was the best version of the red M&M. He was at his sassiest and his coolest when John Lovitz was voicing him from 95 to 96. After that, it was handed off to a few others to eventually land in the hands of other people that do voice work primarily for a living. And John Lovitz was never seen or heard from again.
No, man.
No, he's been seen and heard. It's fine.
And
not enough.
Not enough. That's true. And who are these M&Ms going against? A personal favorite of mine from back in the day.
Whoa. You didn't hear this through the grapevine, Kevin.
I can't hear it at all. Yeah, can you perhaps do it through a grapevine?
I most certainly can. It is going to be the Sun-made California Raisins.
So we have the M&Ms versus the California Raisins in a battle of snacks that go good with popcorn. If you haven't tried it, raisins with popcorn, try it.
Actually, they go good together. M&Ms and raisins go good together in a trail mix.
That's also true. So everything here works so well even together. They should just have a giant orgy instead of fighting each other. But this isn't the way life works. They're fighting, and we'll see what happens. So it's the California Raisins versus the M&Ms in the battle to the death. Shot clock resetting.
And the lead vocals from the California Raisins in those commercials was sung by musician Buddy Miles.
Oh, yeah. Michael says in J.K. Simmons for the peanut M&M, the yellow one. Interesting.
Oh, the green M&M was a lovely lady who wore go-go boots. She always had a big smile on her face.
Wasn't there like a controversy about the female M&M recently?
Yeah, there was.
That's sad.
The Critic was a great cartoon.
Critic was great. Yeah, Critic was great.
So I won a competition in middle school playing Heard It Through the Grapevine, playing the sax, says Josh. That's pretty cool. Frank says he still has a few of the California Raisins Happy Meal toys. Racist stereotype raisins versus all-inclusive M&Ms. Raisins ruin the chocolate chip cookies.
Who said that?
Michael.
Michael.
So, Kevin, you're going to count for raisins. Chris, you're going to count for M&Ms, okay? So, Michael says raisins ruin the chocolate chip cookies, so it sounds like he's voting for the California Raisins. Alex is voting raisins. Maria says, I had California Raisin figures, but I never had M&M figures, so I'm going to go Cali Raisins on this one. Joe says, I think the California Raisins need more sex appeal, so he hasn't voted yet. Frank is voting M&Ms. Sammy has yet to vote, I believe, so we're waiting on Sammy's vote. TJ says M&M's all the way. Austin says M&M's all the way. Sammy did vote. She says California Raisins. And Josh says still have to go California, or go M&M's, more relevant to this day. Michael says M&M's. Janet says M&M's. Hakeem says M&M's melt in the sun while raisins thrive there. Let's go with the raisins. Mom says M&M's and Dad says M&M's. So where are we at on this?
I'm at 8 for M&M's.
Yeah, I have about 5 votes for California Raisins.
Okay, Joe throwing a vote for raisins, so that is
6
to 8. So it sounds like the M&Ms are winning. We'll put another 30 seconds on the clock to see if we can get that.
I know this has been the closest battle yet so far.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping this go to the Supreme Court.
Enrique is voting raisins.
Yeah, we might have a chance. We might get one more.
He said he had a giant plushy raisin and watched the California Raisin Christmas special on TV when he was a kid.
There we go.
What a trippy special that was.
One more vote, and we go to
Pretty
the
sure
Supreme
I still
Court.
have that blank VHS tape around here somewhere with that special.
Nice. Okay. All right, we've gone to 30 seconds. It looks like M&M's beats out the California Raisins by 1 vote.
Wow.
Wah, wah, wah.
You guys are wrong, man. Give those California Raisins some love.
They beat them by a thin candy shell.
Yeah, they did.
Sammy says her mom votes raisins.
Uh-oh.
All right, we'll allow it. That'll make a tie.
Uh-oh, you know what time it is,
Sometimes
right,
there is a delay, so I'll allow it.
Uh-oh. I think I got my...
So it's going to...
The robes are ready.
The council. That is the 4 of us that decide then on the final vote.
Yes.
Since it is a tie.
I have to turn my hat around for this.
Yes, I will turn mine sideways.
I have my golden hand.
Give yourself a golden hand job.
Is that the hamburger hand or something? Or
Well, it's Jamie Lannister's golden hand.
Oh.
But it's a bottle
Actually,
opener, too.
let me get my glasses so I look a little more educated here.
I'm going to put my glasses further down my nose.
DJ says his cats vote M&M's. Well, they probably would prefer the M&M's
They'll
over
probably
the
eat those
raisins.
M&Ms, those cats.
Here we go. Does this make me look a little more educated?
A little bit.
Yes. Okay, well, I officially vote for the M&Ms because I think that the M&Ms are pretty tasty, and I think they have that hard shell that might make them outlast the raisins.
All right.
I go with the California raisins because, after all, raisins are more healthy for you. Even though M&Ms are nice and sweet, raisins are better for your body. And by the way, the California raisins can sing their hearts out, unlike those M&Ms.
But how does that win in a fight?
Well, think about it. If you're fighting someone, you start, sound some melodious tunes. It might distract your opponent.
Chris, you want to chime in here?
I think I gotta go with the raisins in a fight because they're black.
Wait. How you know they're black? They're purple.
Racist.
They're purple. They're not black. They're purple.
Hey, you know what? Black people are more athletic than M&Ms.
Whoa, that's a stereotype. That's a
We don't
stereotype.
know what M&Ms even are.
They're chocolate, and they melt in your mouth and in your hands because they lie. They're liars is what they are because they do melt in your hand. I don't care what they say. They melt in your hand. You hold it for 30 seconds. You have color stuff in your hand. They're liars. That's what they are. California raisins, they tell the truth.
Thank you, Sammy. Raisins got soul. Thank you.
Right. Okay.
I mean, we're going to be stuck at a stalemate here because I got to go M&Ms too.
All right. It's time for the coin.
Oh, no, not the coin.
Because also think about this. The M&Ms could break part of their shell and then slice a raisin with it.
Kevin, which side do you want this to be for? The raisins or the M&Ms?
That side will be for the raisins.
Okay. Clove for the raisins, Ireland for the M&Ms. Ready?
Yes.
This is only one flip. I'm going to let it hit the ground.
Right. And we got to see evidence, too. Photographic evidence.
Raisins win.
Yeah! Yes.
There's a sad M&M crying right now.
Joe says, everything okay, Chris? You good, bud?
I'm good. Just passionate about my M&Ms.
All right. So, next round. This is a fun one.
This is another fun one. Another good one.
We have their great Mr. Tony the Tiger. And this old so-and-so is going to be going up against another of that kingdom, Mr. Chester Cheeto.
The cool versus the kind
groovy.
of the staunch, like athletic. They're great.
He's kind of like an animal, like Captain America. He's very, very patriotic when it comes to Frosted Flakes, you know.
And crazy dude from 1953. There was one guy who voiced him for a year, and then they kicked him out or whatever. From 1953 to 2005, Thurl Ravenscroft. What a name!
Yeah.
Voiced Tony the Tiger, and you might know that name or that voice because he was the voice for the narration of "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Mr. Grinch.
You're a nasty waspy." You know, that was Thurl Ravenscroft. He's also done a bunch of voices for Disney, and that guy's voiceover for, decades.
Yeah, he did it up to the day he died, pretty much.
Yeah. And then Chester Cheetah. Do you get any cooler than that guy? I mean, shades.
I don't know.
There was a Family Guy where they did one where they showed their second, like, do you remember how cool Chester Cheetah was? And it shows him at a party in the 80s, and he takes some Cheetos and he chops them up and makes some lines and sniffs them, and then he's like, "It ain't easy being cheesy." He's just got like.
Could you imagine him sniffing those hot Cheetos? Oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
Oh, no.
Hot Cheetos and Takis one night.
Frank is upset. He thought this was going to be the finals.
I know. Okay, let's start voting, guys. Got a minute on the shot clock. Cast your votes, audience.
I'll take a Chester when it's time to count.
Where's your sunglasses?
Okay.
I don't know.
That means, Kevin, you'll count Tony the Tiger.
Hey, they're great. So enthusiastic that Tony the Tiger is.
Yeah, and another unabashed kerchief wearer.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right.
I think this is going to be a fun little matchup here. A pretty even round. So let's start counting votes. We've got about 20 seconds left. Sammy says, heck yes, they're great. I don't trust that cheetah, so she's voting Tony the Tiger. So 1 for Tony the Tiger from Sammy. Michael says Chester has a flamethrower built in and cooler shades, so 1 vote for Chester Cheeto. Alex says Tony the Tiger. Chester Cheeto is a party dude, not a fighter. When things go bad, he's out. Hakeem says, I loved how they used the Mr. Grinch song in the Hawkeye soundtrack.
That's right.
Chester says Maria is faster and smarter, and crunchy, cheesy deliciousness wins in my book. TJ says, Anthony the Tiger, look at him, he's jacked. Alex says Slurms Mackenzie is cooler than Chester Cheetah. I don't know if that's a vote for Tony the Tiger or not. Austin says Chester Cheetah. Josh says I have to go with Tony the Tiger.
There you go.
Hakeem says Tony the Tiger. Janet says Chester. Frank says I like Tony, but Frosted Flakes are overrated. I'm voting Chester. Enrique says Tony. Chester is cool and spicy, but Tony is an effing tiger.
That's right.
Joe says, let's assume Chester throws some of that flame and dust in Tony's eyes, blinding him for life. Not so great, Tony. Not so great. Chester is my vote. So where are we at?
Sport shit right there.
Yeah.
I have about 6 votes for Tony the Tiger.
Oh, shit. I got 6 for Chester.
Uh-oh.
I knew it was going to be close. I knew this was going to be a good matchup.
Oof. Oof.
Would Tony even be able to catch Chester? Because he's a freaking cheetah. I mean...
Tigers are pretty fast. That's true. Cheetahs are very fast, but tigers are very crafty. We'll set a trap for him.
I'm not even sure how I'd vote on this one. I gotta be honest.
We've got 2 more votes for Tony the Tiger.
Yep.
Sounds like Tony's taking it.
You tiger.
Louis going with Chester Cheetah. Chester Cheeto.
Uh-oh.
You said another one? 1?
1 for Chester.
Okay.
And that was 2 for Tony. So Tony's up by 1 now.
Yep, 8-7.
Taste of Tony Frosted Flakes brings out the tiger in you.
Okay, any other votes before Tony the Tiger wins?
Tony gets you pumped up, you know?
Any other votes, everybody? I don't think there are any other votes. So 5, 4,
3, 2, 1. They're great to the next round.
Tony the Tiger moves on, beating Chester Cheeto by a nose.
I'm okay with that. I see Chester Cheeto all day long when my kids eat food and they're not supposed to. So I'm okay with Tony taking in this one.
Okay, moving on.
Oh boy, another great matchup in my humble opinion.
We have the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh yeah.
Woo, 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 woo.
Wait, that's Macho Man. Oh yeah.
The Kool-Aid Man goes, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Kool-Aid Man is going up against, sure, how about a nice Hawaiian Punch? Punchy from Hawaiian Punch is taking on the Kool-Aid Man. What a great battle, everybody.
Kool-Aid Man, a.k.a. Frankie the Kool-Aid, is his real name.
Frankie.
Frankie the Kool-Aid.
Chris
Also
dressed
goes
as
by
the Kool-Aid
Picture
Man
Man,
at one
Captain
point in
Kool-Aid.
time. I have a picture here on screen of Chris as the Kool-Aid Man. What a great costume. What a great costume, Chris. Really
I
clever.
had a brick wall that I set up and I crashed through.
Yeah.
What is Punchy wearing on his head? It's a weird hat.
It's a hat or hair? I think it's a hat. It's like a Hawaiian thing, I think.
Yeah.
Chris, you're going to be Kool-Aid Man. Jarrett, let's have you do Punchy, okay?
Okay. His name is
TJ
Punchy,
says,
by the way.
Chris, that's incredible. He loves your costume.
Now, just by his power, his magnetism, his size, his strength, I'm going to go with the Kool-Aid Man in this matchup.
I like Michael's thinking. I'm going to back Michael on this. He says, tiki drinks for kids. I can go with Punchy.
Wow.
I
Is
can
that a
follow
vote
you
for
in on
Punchy?
that, buddy.
Yeah, but only one of them has been in a comic book.
True.
Great.
Was that a vote for Punchy?
Well, do we get? Are we voting?
We're not. We're counting
Okay.
the votes now. So here we go. Ready?
All right.
Okay. Alex votes Kool-Aid Man. Sammy votes Kool-Aid Man. Maria votes Kool-Aid Man. Josh votes Kool-Aid Man. Frank votes Kool-Aid Man. Alex already voted, but he says Kool-Aid Man all the way. He's the juggernaut of mascots. He runs through walls and can't be stopped. Enrique says Kool-Aid Man. Hakeem says Kool-Aid Man. Austin says Kool-Aid Man. Michael, of course, said Punchy. Janet says Kool-Aid Man. Mom says Kool-Aid Man. Dad says Kool-Aid Man. TJ's with Kool-Aid Man. Joe says that's not Kool-Aid, that's blood sloshing around in there. Josh says Kool-Aid Man, and Joe says Kool-Aid Man, and Punchy doesn't have a chance. We're moving on.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Man, that was brutal. That was a sugary red bloodbath. Yeah.
That was I way underestimated Punchy's fighting
Chances.
capabilities here.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
We've got another
That
fun
was-
battle here, guys. We
I
have
love this one. Yeah.
somebody you have to avoid. Anybody want to guess?
annoyed.
Well, Kevin, you know. But all right, so we put the Noid up, and the Noid, interestingly enough, has an arch nemesis. I don't know if you guys have ever heard or seen of this arch nemesis, but he can't talk very well. He had a little head damage. All he can seem to come up with are one word said twice, and that's pizza, pizza.
Pizza, pizza.
Yep. We were talking
Pizza,
about
pizza.
Little Caesars. So the Little Caesar versus the Noid. And the Noid comes from what pizza company, everybody?
Domino's Pizza.
Domino's, yeah.
Yeah. Alex says the Noid is great. He's not voting yet, though. He had a Nintendo game somehow, LOL. Maria says Kevin with the spoilers.
I mean, if you simply go based on what pizza's going to kill you faster, you got to go with
Hey.
with Little Caesars.
Hey, Caleb. Caleb says boom, Punchy is punch drunk.
Does anybody remember when you actually did get pizza in Little Caesars, when you got the 2 pizzas?
Yep.
The original way it was done?
I remember when
Yeah.
Pizza Hut came up with the Bigfoot pizza, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Little
Yep.
Caesars was across the street from Pizza Hut in my hometown. And they put giant footprints, like stickers, on the road going from Pizza Hut over to Little Caesars. And on their sign, they says, looks like even he knows what's the better pizza.
Brilliant.
It was. It lasted like a couple weeks until like the highway, the police, the local police came over and was like, you can't be putting stuff on the road like that, and ruined it.
Too many kids get killed for pizza.
Right, that's what small towns do. They like to ruin fun, especially anything that's fun in small towns.
Well, growing up in Michigan, the land of pizza, I got to say that back in the day, Little Caesars was the golden standard for pizza.
Yeah, really
Now it
was.
is the cardboard standard for pizza.
Oh, now
Yeah.
it's the cheapest pizza you can buy, yeah.
It is, but
Yeah.
here's the thing. I feel like they had recently one of the best marketing ploys. They had the bat pizza. It's like the
Oh,
bat
yeah.
calzone where they folded over part of the pizza and baked it so it looked like a bat. Brilliant, like brilliant marketing. So I'll give them credit there. So we're going to count the votes now. Let's
Chris,
see. Chris, you're going to be the pizza. And Kevin,
So it's Domino's Pizza.
you can be the Noid.
All right. So that's cool. So both companies are based in Detroit and Ann Arbor.
Looks like Sammy's voting the Noid. Alex is voting the Noid. Michael says the Noid because he had literal bombs, as in his video game. Janet says the Noid. Boy, this is something. Joe says, that man has a effing spear.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. I was going to say, he has a weapon.
So Joe,
He's a
I think, is
Caesar.
voting
He's a
for
Caesar.
Little Caesars. My mom is voting for Little Caesars. My dad is voting for Little Caesars.
There we go. There we go.
Josh says, fun fact, both are Michigan-based pizza companies. TJ says
Yep,
pizza, more like stabby with that spear. So I think TJ's going Little Caesars. If that changes, I'll let you know. Michael says, trivia, Little Caesars' originally name was Little Caesars Pizza Treat. Huh, did not know that.
Oh, real quick, if you did, like you called like information back in the day and you asked for Little Caesars, ours would go, the number for Little Kazars.
Kazars.
Frank says the Noid. No, I'd go all the way on the power of the NES game. Little Caesars was the better pizza, but those days are long gone. So Frisky's going the Noid. Alex says Little Caesars owns the Red Wings. Domino's Ann Arbor. Little Caesars Detroit, says Josh. Maria says the Noid. Hakeem says the Noid is hangry. Hangry wins. He's voting the Noid. Enrique is voting Little Caesars. Joe is voting Little Caesars. Alex says by Brooklyn standards, both these places have horrible pizza. Frisky.
By like anywhere America standards these days. Like.
Yeah. Josh is saying Little Caesars. Maria wants a pizza treat now, and Louis saying the Noid. So where are we, guys? Sounds like the Noid's slightly ahead.
Yeah, I have 8 for the Noid.
How many for Little Caesars? Chris?
I was counting that.
Oh my God.
Well,
Sorry,
Okay.
I got distracted. Drinking
All right,
pizza.
here we go. Back to the start. Let's recount them.
I think I had like 7 or 8.
Sammy
Lost
says
track
the
in there
Noid. Alex says the Noid. Let's see. Michael says the Noid. Janet says the Noid. Let's see. Josh says nothing. Frank says the Noid. Caleb says the Noid. Josh says Little Caesars. Maria says the Noid. Hakeem says the Noid. Mom says Little Caesars. Dad says Little Caesars. Enrique says Little Caesars. Joe says Little Caesars. Josh says Little Caesars. Louis says the Noid. And Austin says Little Caesars.
yeah, in that
Alright, so
case,
seven for
that's
the
9. That's 9 for the Noid.
So 7-9, the Noid's winning?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We're going to go with that. The Noid wins. Unbelievable. I didn't see
Pretty
that
close.
at all.
Pretty close battle.
Yeah. Okay, next round. We're going to move on fast. We got to get through these. The next one, when we go to the next battles from once we're finished with our list, it's going to go super fast. It'll be a minute
let's go
each
quick.
vote.
Those are just
A minute each vote, so we can wrap up and get this done here for everybody. So next one, we have one Mrs. Buttersworth.
Woo!
And she is going up against a little hee-hee. Not Michael Jackson. We're talking about the Pillsbury Doughboy. So a little Pillsbury Doughboy versus Mrs. Buttersworth. Who takes the cake? Fun fact on this one.
His name is Poppin' Fresh.
Mrs. Buttersworth is based on the actress Thelma Butterfly McQueen, who played Prissy in Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
How about that? That's pretty cool. And the Pillsbury Doughboy is actually modeled after me when I get out of the shower.
He's an adorable little fella.
Wait,
Yeah.
you
adorable.
have no anatomy? And you wear a cooking hat?
You just poke me in the belly or poke him in the belly. It's fun. Pillsbury's fun. I love Pillsbury Doughboy. I love Mrs. Buttersworth. I think I'm sad to see Mrs. Buttersworth go, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not cool with that.
Aunt Jemima, Uncle Bem, sure. I always thought that those were dated anyway. Mrs. Buttersworth
stupid.
just seemed like she was having a good goddamn time, you know?
Yeah. Also, Poppin' Fresh is another unabashed kerchief wearer. Loves his kerchief.
Mm.
True. True. What a chef, that guy. He'll bake anything.
Nothing says lovin' like my buns in the oven.
I think Pillsbury Doughboy, they did a thing with him on Mad TV, a stop motion claymation thing. You can pick it up on YouTube if you look under Mad TV Pillsbury Doughboy. You'll be able to watch the little short. It is quite hilarious and worth the watch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, TJ, I am annoyed too. Yes, Frisky, thank you. Smash the like button, everybody. If you like what you see and you're having fun, click on the like on YouTube. We appreciate it. It helps our algorithms on YouTube, definitely. So we've got votes coming in. Chris, you're Mrs. Buttersworth. Jarrett, you
No,
are
I'm
Pillsbury Doughboy.
I'm a Mr. Thank you.
Frank says Doughboy. Sherlock, hey Aiden, thanks for joining. He says Doughboy. Alex says Poppin' Fresh. He's Doughboy. Maria's Doughboy. Joe says Yikes on Buttersworth. Doughboy all the way. Frisky says Mrs. Buttersworth isn't as fun to poke. Dough me up. So he's Doughboy. Austin's Pillsbury Doughboy. Josh, so far the only Mrs. Buttersworth. Enrique, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Doughboy. Michael, Buttersworth for him or for Janet. Pillsbury for him. Because he can rise above. Oh, that's cool, Michael.
That's true.
Hakeem says Pillsbury, Poppin' Fresh, and TJ says Doughboy. We don't even have to keep going. Mrs. Butterworth is gone.
Like roll Doughboy with her roller that she has.
She should be able to.
Yeah,
but
but
he
Doughboy
can bounce
can
back.
wait till his dough hardens and then just knife her in the gut and syrup just all over your breakfast table.
Jesus. Here's a fun one that I had fun coming up with, kind of figuring it out here. Mr. Clean. Who would be a good character to go up against Mr. Clean? What character could really stand against somebody so strong as Mr. Clean that's all about cleanliness? Well, maybe that's the brawny paper towel guy. Now, clean shaven.
Brawny.
So we have Mr. Clean versus the brawny paper towel guy. Mr. Brawny.
And now, I know our picture for Brawny is the newest guy, right?
Yes.
But I'd like our audience to also think about the 1970s, 80s guy who looked pretty much like the Marlboro Man, with his sweet mustache and his like Tom Selleck hair.
Like a lumberjack,
like a John Holmes lumberjack. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I don't really care.
Okay.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
All right, so
before we were doing this pod, I found on Etsy someone was selling an old unopened brawny paper towels from the 80s, and it was like yellowed inside. I was like, 25.
How much? $25?
$25.
Wow. Okay, so fun fact about Mr. Clean: he was based off a model of a United States naval sailor from Pensacola, Florida. Go figure. That's Mr. Clean.
So we got a naval sailor versus a lumberjack.
Yeah, basically, we're going with the lumberjack, the regular size lumberjack version here, Frisky. Or if you would like to think Mr. Clean is almost magical, so he can grow to that size, and they can battle like big Godzilla kaijus, so to speak. I was looking for the word kaiju; it just took me a while. So yes, Walter White or Mr. Clean. Nice. Okay, so votes are coming in. We're putting 1 minute on the shot clock. Here we go. So Joe says Daddy versus Daddy. Kevin, you are going to be Mr. Clean. Jarrett, you are going to be Brawny.
Yell Brenner, that's true.
Frank says Mr. Clean. Josh says we going looks or who would fight. Josh, fight. Alex says Brawny has the edge. He's younger and bigger. I go Brawny. TJ, just have him wrestle around for a while. Michael says Mr. Clean. Janet says Mr. Clean. Sherlock says Mr. Clean. Jarrett, Michael says he sold a 2006 Mountain Dew Livewire for $150 over quarantine. Old stuff sells. That is crazy. Mom says Mr. Clean. Dad says Mr. Clean. Maria says Brawny. Enrique says Yul Brenner, so he's going with Mr. Clean. TJ says Mr. Clean sweeps the floor with him. Can't pick in a fight, have to go with who would please my wife more. Caleb says Mr. Clean. Austin says Mr. Clean. Frank says if Bronny is 50 feet tall, maybe he should go against the Jolly Green Giant. Josh says I have to Bronny. He's going with Bronny. Joe says Mr. Clean. Bronny has glamour muscles. Hakeem says you've put the Green Giant against him, but I go with Mr. Clean. So it sounds like Mr. Clean ran away with it.
Muscles.
Am I right? Mr. Clean's winning, correct?
Mr. Clean.
Yeah, he has like 11 votes.
Clear winner. Clear winner.
Bronny had 3.
Bronny didn't have a chance.
No.
You know what? Frisky made me laugh there. Wow. I gotta go with the guy who would please my wife more. That's something else.
This is the next round. We're going minute by minute on this one. We've got to move fast on these. So, in this tournament version, we are doing Toucan Sam won that first round. Surprisingly took it. So Toucan Sam is going to be fighting
Mr. Owl.
Yeah, another bird. I haven't gotten the photo up yet, Kevin, but we'll get there.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I know you're excited.
I am.
Okay.
This is a good one, actually. Toucan versus Mr. Owl.
So who would win? Toucan Sam versus Mr. Owl. The floor is yours, audience, in the chats. The floor is yours. Minute on the clock, starting now. Gentlemen, what do you think? I'm still thinking Mr. Owl. Again, they're right.
Yeah,
he's college educated.
He's smart, Sam.
Yeah, Mr. Owl is a sneaky little bastard.
Mm-hmm. Toucan always has those kids following him around, so he makes a lot of noise. Mr. Owl has one kid follow him around. He bites into his sucker, and then the kid leaves because he doesn't have sucker. So,
yeah,
the owl just lick Sam 3 times and bite him.
What's that?
It's the owl would just lick Sam 3 times and bite him to the center.
There you go.
You know what? That's a good point.
So Sam will be like, "Oh, that feels good. Oh, that feels good," and then he's dead.
Yep. Okay, who wants this?
I'll take Mr. Owl.
I'll take Toucan Sam. How about that? I'll do this one.
Oh, you got it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it. Okay. All right.
Hey, see, Joe, you're right. An owl is an apex predator. Thank you.
Here we go. Alex goes with Mr. Owl. Mom says Toucan Sam. Dad says Toucan Sam. Michael says Toucan Sam. Janet says Toucan Sam. Maria says Mr. Owl. TJ says Toucan Sam. Frank says Toucan Sam. Austin says Toucan Sam. Jesus.
I don't know.
Louis says Toucan Sam. Frisky says Owl has the killer instinct. We all know that kid didn't get his Tootsie Pop back. True. So that's Mr. Owl. Josh says Toucan Sam. Enrique says Mr. Owl. TJ, fun fact, Uncle Sam's first name is Toucan. Joe says Mr. Owl is an apex predator. Calculus Inator says aloha. Aloha. Joe says no, TJ. Apex says Alex, so he's going with Mr. Owl. Hakeem says Professor Owl. Calculus says Owl beats Sam. Sherlock says Toucan Sam. Let's see. Calculus says Mr. Owl. He's going to rip Toucan Sam apart. And TJ says Toucan Sam, but can 3. Oh, God. TJ, you're in it to win it tonight. Okay, so I have 10 for Toucan. What do you have?
6 for Mr. Owl.
Doesn't sound like Mr. Owl's going to win this one.
Nice little comeback, but yeah, goodbye.
I guess people really are following that nose for real.
Toucan
Sam got some good stuff, I guess.
Toucan won that round. All right, next. We are going.
This is going to be a gang fight right here.
This is an interesting one. Yeah, this is going to be kind of a. Keep in mind that, you know.
Jumped.
The way I see it, Kevin, is one of them has to pick, like, the person that they want to fight for them. Yeah. So I say the guy with the mic is the one that's going to be in the battle. So one of the California Raisins Unless we want to have it be a melee fight, which it could be. We could
Now,
still...
you know, it's funny. A tiger could rip those raisins apart. So, hey, he might be down for the challenge.
True. Very true. So
So
Tony
it's
the
Tony
Tiger
versus
versus the
California
California Raisins. This is a good matchup.
Yeah, I think Tony could take them all. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing to put them all in there.
Yeah. Yeah. We could definitely do that.
It gets chopped up.
Yeah, Tony would have them all dead before they even sing a note.
I
Yes.
heard it through the grapevine.
Yes, they are being bought by Big Fruit, Joe. F-R-O-O-T. No, the M&Ms did not win, Josh. It ends up, there was a last-minute vote, which put it at a tie. We, the council, tied, and then we flipped a coin, and that's how the Raisins ended up winning. So, sorry, Josh. The M&Ms did not win. So, California Raisins versus Tony the Tiger. Here we go. Which one? Who's doing what?
I'll take Tony.
I'll take the Raisins.
Okay.
It should be a bloodbath, to be honest with you.
Alex says Tony. Joe says Tony, but he would win, but definitely get the squirts. Josh votes Tony. Maria votes Raisins. Calculus says Tony will crush all of them. They will acknowledge his greatness. Nice, dude. Frank says Tony. Michael says Tony the Tiger. Great instead of grapes. And TJ says Antonio El Tagri. So he's Tony the Tiger. Austin says Tony the Tiger. And where are we at on these votes?
This match
8
is
for
over.
Tony.
I have
This match is
one.
over.
Oh,
This match is over.
Sammy says Tony the Tiger. Frisky says 8 chances to pimp slap, but come on, it's the Tiger. Tony all the way. So another Tony.
Tony's killing this.
Enrique says there's more than one raisin. Yes. Louis says Tony the Tiger. Enrique, are you voting for the Raisins or what? He's voting Raisins. And Janet votes Tony the Tiger. And Mom votes Tony the Tiger. And Dad votes Tony. It's over. California Raisins lost.
We can
It's a
call
wipeout.
it.
It's a wipeout.
14-2.
I think the M&Ms would have had a better shot. I'm going to be realistic here.
Yeah.
Okay. Next round, we have... This is going to be a fun one. This is going to be a weird one, but a fun one. You guys asked for this. I didn't ask for this. You guys asked for this.
This quarterfinal matchup is going to be the Kool-Aid Man against the Noid. Now, in my opinion, the Kool-Aid Man should rip the Noid into pieces, or at least drown him to death. Pick him up, throw him inside his jar, and just drown him.
Maybe. The Noid's got bombs, though. Keep that in mind.
Yes, that's true.
And he's pretty annoying.
The Noid's also like the Joker of ad icons. You know, he's unpredictable.
All right.
Yeah,
True.
Kool-Aid Man just gonna keep like sumo wrestler like slamming into him.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Kool-Aid versus Tony, or versus the Noid, and here we go. I'm gonna have to go with. I would go with Kool-Aid Man as well. I would like to think the Noid would be able to throw up a good fight, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's there for him. I think he would easily be drowned or smashed into the wall by Kool-Aid Man.
You see?
And I think the audience is going to agree, so we're not even going to count the Noid's votes. We're just going to count Kool-Aid Man. So, Kevin.
You know what? You know what's funny? This is a first. We never didn't even bother counting the votes. I love
Yep.
it.
Kevin, you go ahead with Kool-Aid Man. You're going to count Kool-Aid Man votes. That's what we're going to do on this one.
All right.
Okay, Alex says Kool-Aid Man. Enrique says Kool-Aid Man. Sammy says Kool-Aid Man. Maria says Kool-Aid Man. TJ says Kool-Aid. Josh says Kool-Aid. Michael says Noid. Frank says Kool-Aid. Janet says Noid. Joe says Kool-Aid. Calculus says Kool-Aid. Austin says Kool-Aid. Frisky says Kool-Aid. That's Caleb. And Louis says Kool-Aid. Josh, also, he already said that. So how many votes for Kool-Aid?
12.
12 versus 2 for the Noid. Okay. Got it. Kool-Aid Man wins.
Official.
Avoided the Noid. Drown him in a sea of purple juice.
Actually, it's red juice, sir.
It could be purple stuff. There's many flavors of Kool-Aid.
Yes, but in this particular case, it's a bloody red color.
That's true.
No purple drink in this one.
Okay, here we go. Next round. This is a quick one.
Last quarterfinals, it's going to be the Pillsbury Doughboy against
This is a weird one.
Mr. Clean.
So you have, I could just
There's a way
see,
for him to win, though.
I can see the Pillsbury Doughboy taking this by just frustrating the shit out of Mr. Clean. He's running around, spilling little bits of dough everywhere, throwing flour up in the air. Woo-hoo! You know? And Mr. Clean's like, where is he? What? You know, trying to find him.
And then he hears just that little high-pitched laugh just constantly, and he just gets out his nerves, and he just like, eventually he just like poisons himself because he's like non-drinkable because he's like cleaning solution.
Okay, Jarrett, you're the Doughboy. Chris, you're Mr. Clean. Ready? 1 minute on the clock. And here we go. Enrique says Mr. Clean. Sammy says Doughboy. Alex says Doughboy. Frank says Doughboy. Calculus says Mr. Clean. Maria says Doughboy. Michael says Doughboy. Janet says Doughboy. Mom says Doughboy. Dad says Doughboy. Josh says Doughboy. Austin says Doughboy. TJ says Doughboy. Caleb says Doughboy. Joe says the Doughboy would drive Mr. Clean to suicide with his laugh. Yes, I agree.
Do we need to keep counting?
I don't think
No,
so.
it's over.
No.
We got 13 for Doughboy. I think we're good.
Yeah,
Mr.
we got
Clean's
2
done.
for Mr. Clean. So
Pillsbury Doughboy moves on.
To the semifinals.
I was gonna say another way. Just Mr. Clean wakes up in the morning and all of a sudden Doughboy's just in his mouth and just goes down his throat. And he's like,
Yeah. You just choke him.
Yeah.
Okay, final semifinal round here. This is going to be a fun one, guys. This is the battle of the heated wins, like just bloodbaths with these characters. Toucan Sam ran away with it in that last round, as did this big old dude here. We're talking the Kool-Aid man.
Tony the Tiger.
Wait, is it Tony the Tiger?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Tony the Tiger.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, Tony the Tiger. My apologies.
Tony Tiger versus Toucan Sam.
Yep.
Cereal time, people.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's gonna be a serial killer?
Now you have a tiger
Cereal.
versus a bird. Now I know what I would think if I was thinking of an actual fight, and I still am thinking this no matter what, that this is the way this would go down. So I feel like this is the way nature intended it, is the way that it should be. So here we go.
Gosh, you're right. Both are Kellogg.
Kevin, you're Tony the Tiger. Chris, you're Toucan Sam, okay? And here we go. Enrique says Tony. Alex says Tony. Sammy says Tony. Calculus says Tony. Maria says Toucan Sam. Joe says Tony. Louis says Tony. Frank says cereal versus cereal. Exactly. Mom says Tony. Dad says Tony. TJ says, oof, sorry, Sammy. Tony takes it. So TJ says Tony. Frank says Tony. Josh says Tony. Michael says Tony. Janet says Tony. Austin says Tony. Do we even need to keep going? Caleb says Tony.
We're
Tony
calling
has
it. We're
done it
calling
again.
it.
It's like 15, 14, 15 votes. Man, Tony just
Tony annihilates this
Slash.
round.
he slashed his way to the championship round. I mean, Tony is just
Joe says the way I
Tony.
had it placed, it looked like Tony was trying to stick his finger up Toucan's pooper.
It's great.
Okay, so this one is going to be epic, guys. I mean it. Like, this is the battle for the ages right here. This is probably the best battle of them all. We're
best
talking,
semifinal matchup.
yeah, we're talking about, oh yeah, versus,
Woohoo!
we're talking about Kool-Aid versus the Pillsbury Doughboy. Who wins this?
That's a pretty damn epic matchup there.
Yeah, I agree.
I wonder how they mix together.
Well played, Kevin.
Well, is dough absorbent? I mean, can it just can you just go in there and be like, yeah? I mean, I know he's
Possibly.
Yeah.
If there's enough of them, yeah.
I just
Actually,
imagined a Pillsbury Doughboy sucking it all up and becoming some juice dough Hulk, and then breaking the glass out of him.
Alex says, why wasn't Count Chocula in this contest? Well, Alex, you wouldn't think that I would do a contest like this without including something that I have on my shirt. So
next week, Alex, part 2. Next week.
Part
Tune in
2.
for next week, Alex.
Part 2 is coming, and it is going to be even better.
Yeah.
Dare I say it, even better. And by the way, those just tuning in, go to splatteredfrog.com, type in the coupon code SHORTBOX, save 20% off your order. They have t-shirts. Normally they have pint glasses, hats, things like that. They're going to be getting those back in stock. But just check them out. Maybe some hat pins in the future. Some really cool, maybe a cool collab hat pin possibly in the future for collectability, limited edition, by the way. So let's get started. Okay. Kevin, you're cool. Chris, you're Kool-Aid. Kevin, you're Pillsbury, okay?
Woo! Okay.
Alex says Kool-Aid. Calculus says Kool-Aid because Doughboy gets dissolved. Frank says Kool-Aid. Sammy says Kool-Aid. TJ says Kool-Aid. Sammy says, oh yeah, because she's already voted. Maria says Kool-Aid. Alex is laughing. Enrique says Kool-Aid. Austin says Kool-Aid. Michael says Kool-Aid. Jesus, this is not going how I thought. Janet said Kool-Aid. Josh said Kool-Aid flavored rolls. Joe said Kool-Aid man is filled with the blood of his enemies. He would keep the Doughboy as a pet.
It's true.
Caleb says toughest one yet, Kool-Aid, but I don't know how he gets to win. So nothing for the Pillsbury, right?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's over.
You can call it.
Kool-Aid wins this round, and he moves on. And
To the championship round.
Oh,
This
shit.
is
Only the
going to be
Tiger-
one hell of a championship round. My goodness. This is going to be
two
a hell of a
bruisers.
championship round.
Two bruisers. We have the Kool-Aid man, whose picture I'm just keeping up there. He's going up against something that's great, Mr. Tony the Tank.
Tiger.
You know,
know,
I tried Frosted Flakes with Kool-Aid once. It was not good.
Have you ever tried mixing Tang with milk, trying to make an orange creamsicle? It's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can, yeah.
Awful idea. It did not turn out how I wanted it to. It's a really bad idea. Okay, so let's start the voting, everybody. Chris, again, you're going to be Kool-Aid. Jarrett, you're going to be Tony.
This should be a good one.
Enrique, I don't know if this vote is for the last round or for this one, so if you can re-vote Enrique, I would appreciate it. Alex says Tony. Maria says Kool-Aid. TJ says Kool-Aid. And Michael says milk plus Tang. That's illegal. Well, it should be the way it tasted, let me tell you. Another for Kool-Aid. And another for Kool-Aid. Josh says Tony. Sammy says Tony. Mom says Tony. Dad says Tony. Enrique says Kool-Aid. Austin says Kool-Aid.
Uh-oh.
Joe says Kool-Aid. Sounds like it's not going well.
It's pretty competitive at the moment.
Yes. Okay, Maria. Trixie says Tony with the active lifestyle takes out diabetic Kool-Aid man. So one more vote for Tony. Trevor's in here. Votes Kool-Aid. Trevor, thank you for being here. And where are we at? What's the votes?
8 for Kool-Aid.
6 for Tony.
Okay, well, since this is our last match, we're going to let the shot clock go one more minute just to... Oh, Louis popped in with Tony, so we only need one more vote for Tony to tie it.
Uh-oh.
Anybody else voting?
You want Tony the Tiger to survive.
Frank says Tony.
Oh, you kidding me?
No.
Uh-oh. Are you mean to tell me the Supreme Court may have to decide this championship round?
Okay. So it looks like it is. Oh, calculus says Tony. So Tony is in the lead now by 1 vote.
Oh, Tony with the comeback.
And if we count the fake votes from Sammy and Josh, we will. Tony would be up by 3. But I don't know, since you already had your mom vote, Sammy, for just one time, I don't think we can count your sister's vote for just one time. I don't think that's going to happen. Josh, same thing. Your dad hasn't been voting the whole time. Him just popping in for 1 vote. A little rough.
You said my dead Aunt Verna says Kool-Aid? Wow.
Add that in.
Wow, are you doing a seance, Joe, or something
Joe,
like that?
Joe, obviously we didn't add those in, so those don't count. So it's okay. Your dead aunt can rest easy knowing that Tony's still going to tie it up or win. Tony's ahead, right, by 1 vote?
Tony's got 9.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't believe it. Wow.
All right, so we'll just 1 more minute up, just to be safe.
Yeah, we'll give it a chance to go to the Supreme Court. Someone pops in.
I'm surprised. I thought Kool-Aid Man had it, but Tony came in the
Me
last
too.
second.
Tell you, Tony's tough.
Calculus says his dog says Tony.
But Frisky Gringo makes a good point. Tony with the active lifestyle does take out a diabetic Kool-Aid Man. That does make sense, actually.
Sure.
Tony
I think
definitely gets a
that's-
run in the morning.
I think that's it, Donald.
Are you conceding, Mr.
I'm,
Kool-Aid
I'm
Man?
just saying it's been a minute.
Josh says my wife says she doesn't care. And Alex says
All
now
right,
he
that
wants
does
Frosted
sound-
Flakes.
Brand.
I am great.
Well, that's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Guys, I'm shocked. I really thought Kool-Aid was going to run away with it, and it turns
did I.
out it was Tony the Tiger.
Tony the Tiger by a claw.
Clawed his way to the winner's circle. We have a grand champion. Let's set him out, send him out like a grand champion.
He is champion number 1. I can't wait to see who he'll take on next week.
Congratulations to Tony the Tiger. Who will he fight next week? We don't know, but it's going to be something epic. Tony the Tiger is this night's winner. Kevin, did we have anybody pick Tony the Tiger as the winner of this night's fight from the board of people that guessed earlier today? Kevin?
Yes. We know who it was?
Who?
Sammy.
Sammy?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, Sammy guessed Tony the Tiger, so Sammy gets a free autographed comic book. That autographed autographed comic book is going to be by none other than Alex Bankita in the chats here with you all.
Oh, nice.
He does the Scout comic book Headless, and he sent some autographed copies here, and we'll be giving away one, and that is to you, Sammy, for guessing correctly on this week's battle of who would win, not even
She also
knowing.
gets a Rumble Spoon T-shirt, according to Josh. So,
He gets a Splattered Frog t-shirt
sorry, yeah, Spider Frog, yes.
and a Splattered Frog t-shirt. So, Sammy, just let Josh know your size or me, and then I'll text him your address once you send it over to me. I'll forward it to him, and he'll make sure you get sent a shirt. So that is it, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. A little longer than I thought it would be, but it went well. I think everybody had fun, I hope, and thank you all.
I had a grand old time.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing these matchups and figuring these out and stuff. So next week will be a lot of fun as well.
We got some good ones for next week.
Yeah, we may change a few things up here because I still have some that weren't entered at the top of the list that I'm thinking, man, this guy's got to fight this guy and this guy. So there might be some more fighting in-house before we get it figured out. We do an audio podcast usually every Wednesday or Thursday. It comes out. It is on pretty much all podcast platforms. If you can't find it, let us know. It's on Spreaker. It's on Stitcher. It's on Spotify. It's on iHeartRadio. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's everywhere. You can find us. It's called The Real Short Box, of course. Find us, love us, like us, subscribe, download the audio, or at least just click play and walk away if you don't want to hear it, just so it gets a play. It shows in our in our, what's the word? In our system. There we go. I can't think of the word, but it shows in our system, and it helps boost us up.
Algorithms.
Algorithms. Jesus, thank you, Kevin. It shows in our algorithms and it helps boost us up. We also do this live podcast. Next week is going to be part 2 of this battle of the brand icons. So please join us for that. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you. Frank, you will not see Ronald McDonald versus Burger King next week. We are not doing fast food icons. We decided to shy away from fast food and alcohol for the sake of the children. It's for the children.
Are you serious? For the sake of the children?
It's
we're like an R-rated podcast.
It's for those little shitheads, the little tykes that run around and shit themselves, and piss all over the place, whatever the hell they do. I don't know. Little kids, man, little kids. We gotta be PC, dude.
Yeah,
but anyway,
now you say that.
Anything else anybody wants to say before we go?
No,
Thanks for joining us. Be back next week for part 2, where we'll see who will take on our first champion, Tony the Tiger.
Wait, I have something to say. I have something to say here.
Yes.
Kool-Aid Man was cheated. I don't care what you say. I want a recount. Kool-Aid Man. Somebody hacked the polls. Kool-Aid Man won that. I demand 2 recounts.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying that Russia or some other country hacked this particular poll? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, Frank, it's another part to it is we didn't want to use characters that started out as like human, like Ronald McDonald was the dude in the costume and everything, and Burger King is the dude in the costume. So we just wanted to keep it as close to icons that are drawn or created as we can, and then maybe later they become people like Mr. Clean or something, or vice versa. But that's how we want to go. So it sounds like Chris is on a campaign to bring Kool-Aid Man back for the next battles. We'll see if that's successful. If you guys want to see the Kool-Aid Man come back for a round 2 battle somehow, some way, join us on Friends of the Real Shortbox. Request to join us. It's a private chat for everybody. You can also comment on our Real Shortbox Facebook page. You can comment on our Real Shortbox Instagram page. You can comment on our Real Shortbox Twitter page. Let us know if you want to see Kool-Aid Man back. It can happen. It has happened in wrestling before where wrestlers have come back. It's possible Kool-Aid Man can come back. I'm just saying. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening and watching. Join us next week for part 2 of Battle of the Brand Icons. And if we don't see you out and about anytime soon, perhaps
we'll see you at the energetic, frenetic, and always great comic book shop.
Dun-dun.